गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स। आप सबों का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। इस वीडियो में हम लोग बात करेंगे करंट अफेयर से जुड़े हुए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण प्रश्न सॉल्व करेंगे, जानेंगे, देखेंगे क्या इसमें इम्पोर्टेंट तथ्य हैं जो आप याद रख सकते हैं, याद करना चाहिए। पानी अपना पूरा जीवन देकर पेड़ को बड़ा करता है, इसलिए शायद पानी लकड़ी को कभी डूबने नहीं देता। यही बात हमारी शिक्षा के साथ लागू होती है। शिक्षा हमें एक बेहतर इंसान बनाता है और बेहतर इंसान कभी भी समाज को डूबने नहीं देता है। बेहतर समाज बेहतर व्यक्ति से निर्मित होता है। तो बने रहिए इस चैनल में, देखते रहिए, सीखते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए। ऑल द बेस्ट। पहला प्रश्न पूछा जा रहा है वेब 3.0 के बारे में। वेब 3.0 इट रेफर्स टू अ रीड राइट एग्जीक्यूट with decentralization as its bedrock. It is a digital world where people are able to interact with each others without the need of any intermediary. Users will have ownership stake in the platforms and application under 10.0, unlike earlier version. Which are the correct about Web 3.0? ये वेब 3.0 के बारे में आपने सुन लिया कि ये रीड राइट एग्जीक्यूट डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन विदाउट एनी इंटरमीडिएटरी ओनरशिप स्टैक। आई थिंक ओनली सबके सब कथन सही है। लेट्स सी। वेब 3.0 is an evolving term that is used refer to the next generation of internet. It's a next generation of internet. Read, write, execute with decentralization as its bedrock. With the blockchain, the time, the place of the transaction are recorded permanently. ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी में जानते हैं टाइम एंड प्लेस ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शन आर रिकॉर्डेड परमानेंटली। दस वेब 3 enables peer-to-peer, seller-to-buyer transaction by eliminating the role of the intermediary. In Web 3, users will have ownership. User will have ownership stakes in the platform and application, unlike now where tech giants control the platforms. According to NASCOM latest report, India is home to 11% of global Web 3.0 talent. Consider the following statement with respect to ट्राइबल यूथ एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम। ट्राइबल यूथ एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है। ट्राइबल यूथ एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम एम of this program is to sensitize the law वो जो लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म ट्राइबल यूथ to reach cultural heritage of India. It is being organized by National Education Society for Tribal Students NEST across the country. ध्यान रहे across the country. Which are the correct about tribal youth exchange program? I think only and only A is the right statement because the aim of this program, Tribal Youth Exchange Program, is to sensitize LWE tribal youth to reach cultural heritage of India and enable them to appreciate the concept of unity in diversity, expose them to development activities and industrial advancement, and help the tribal youth to develop emotional linkage with their peer groups in other part of the country and enhance their self-esteem. Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan organizing organizing tribal youth exchange programs since 2006 for the development and the mainstreaming of the tribal youth in collaboration and financial support from the Department of Left Wing Extremism. Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. During this financial year 2022-2023, Tribal Youth Exchange Program are being organized by NYKS across the country. By NYKS across the country. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports in collaboration with Ministry of Home Affairs. Ministry of Youth and Sport collaboration with Ministry of Home Affairs organized Tribal Youth Exchange Program for the development of tribal youth. Consider the following with respect to Competition Commission of India (CCI). Competition Commission of India is a statutory body within the Ministry of Commerce and Industry responsible for enforcing the Competition Act 2002. The commission comprises a chairperson and not less than 5 members, appointed by central government. The commission is required to give an opinion on the competition issue on reference received from a statutory authority established by the under any law, which are the correct about Competition Commission of India. Of course, this is a statutory body. Why not? But it's come not under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. You know about that? Only and only three is the right answer. Competition Commission of India (CCI) is the chief national competition regulator. It is a statutory body within the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Within the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, it is responsible for enforcing Competition Act 2002 to promote the competition and prevent the activities that have an appreciable adverse effect on the competition in India. The commission comprises a chairperson and not less than two and not more than 6 members appointed by the central government. Ashok Kumar Gupta is the current chairperson of CCI. The commission is also required to give an opinion on competition issue on reference received from a statutory authority established under any law to undertake competition advocacy, create public awarenesses, impart training on competition issue. Competition Commission slaps 1,338 crore penalty on Google for unfair practice. Consider the following statement regarding cyclone warning system in India. The weather warning is issued by the Indian Meteorological Department on the tidal surge. Based on tidal surge, the weather warning is issued by the Indian Meteorological Department based on tidal surge. Cyclones are color coded based on their intensity into white, yellow, red, black. Which are the correct about cyclone warning system in India? Incorrect पूछा गया. Incorrect. I think both are incorrect. Because you know that cyclones are classified into 5 different levels on the basis of wind speed, not in color. It's a wind speed. They are further divided into 5 categories according to their capacity to cause damage. There are two bases on which the cyclones can be classified. Number one, wind speed. Number two, capacity to damage. The four colors used by IMD are green, yellow, orange, red. Green, that means no action needed. Yellow means watch, stay updated, and orange means be prepared, and red means take action. Red means take action, orange means be prepared, yellow means watch and stay updated, and green means no action needed. Possible cyclone Sitrang likely to reach West Bengal. Consider the following statement with respect to Official Language Committee Official Language Committee. Official Language Committee is a statutory body, a committee constituted under the Official Language Act 1963. This act makes it obligatory for the President to issue the direction in accordance with the report. The committee also has the mandate to recommend the medium of the instruction in the central university. Which are the correct about Official Language Act? ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज कमिटी के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है. आई थिंक यू नो अबाउट दैट. 1 and 2 इज द राइट आंसर. ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज एक्ट और कमिटी is statutory committee constituted under this Official Language Act 1963. Official Language Committee is a statutory body which is stabilized by Official Language Act 1963. The act makes it obligatory for president to issue direction in accordance with the whole or any part of report. The remit of the committee is to review progress made in the use of Hindi for the official purpose of the Union and submit report to the President. The committee is not mandated to recommend the medium of instruction in university and professional institution. 11th volume of the report of the Official Language Committee was submitted to the President of India. Next question comes. National Crisis Management Committee is chaired by National Crisis Management. It's a Ministry of Cabinet Secretary. National Crisis Management Committee. This committee is set up by the Government of India in the wake of the National Committee for effective coordination and the implementation of relief measures and operations. It is headed by the Cabinet Secretary. National Crisis Management Committee is headed by Cabinet Secretary. National Crisis Management Committee under chairmanship of the Cabinet Secretary Sri Rajiv Gauba meets and review preparedness for possible cyclonic storm over Bay of Bengal. With the reference to the nutri-cereal, consider the following. They are gluten-free, non-allergenic, and non-acid forming food. Jowar, ragi, cookie, chenna are some of the nutri-cereals. Which are the correct about nutri-cereal? Yes, of course, both the statements are correct. Nutri-cereals are gluten-free, non-allergenic, non-acidic food. Millets consumption decreases triglycerides and C-reactive protein, thereby preventing the cardiovascular disease. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare declared millet comprising sorghum, that means jowar, pearl millet, that means bajra, finger millet, matlab रागी या मंदुआ, माइनर मिलेट, ओरसो मिलेट, चिन्ना, कोडो मिलेट, कोडो, बार्नयार्ड मिलेट, दैट मीन्स सावास, झोंगारा, लिटिल मिलेट, कुटकी, ब्राउन टॉप मिलेट, and two pseudo millets, buckwheat, kuttu, and amarnath, choluai, and as a nutri-cereal for production, consumption, and trade point of view. Union Agriculture Minister and Ministry of Botswana hold talks focused on promoting the cultivation of nutri-cereals. Consider the following example. Consider the following statement with respect to Financial Action Task Force. Financial Action Task Force is an intergovernmental organization founded on initiative of G7. Say initiative of G7. Financial Action Task Force monitor progress in implementing its recommendation through the special reporters. Countries known as a non-cooperative countries or territories are put in grey list. Non-cooperative countries is known as puts into the grey list, which are the correct about financial action task force. Paris West. So A is the right answer. Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering (FATF) is an intergovernmental organization founded in 1989 on the initiative of the G7 to develop the policy to combat money laundering and maintain certain interests. FATF monitors progress in implementing its recommendation through the peer review, mutual evaluation of the members' countries, special or independent experts, title given the independent human rights expert whose expertise is called upon by the United Nations to report or advise on the human rights from a thematic or a country specific perspective. Countries known as non-cooperative countries or terrorist non-cooperative countries, non-cooperative countries or territories are put into the blacklist. These countries supported terror funding, money laundering activities. The FATF revises its blacklist regularly, adding or deleting the entries. Countries that are considered safe haven for supporting terror funding, safe haven for terror funding, money laundering are put into the FAT grey list. Inclusions serve as a warning to the country that it may be entered into the blacklist. Pakistan was recently removed from FATF grey list. With respect to general consent given to the Central Bureau of Investigation, general consent to the Central Bureau of Investigation, consider the following. So, I think general consent given to the Central Bureau of Investigation, consider the following statement. CBI may begin investigation taking consent as having been already given under this route. CBI would still have the powers to investigate old cases even general consent is withdrawn, which are the correct. Of course, C is the right answer because both of the statements are correct. You know about general consent is normally given by states to help the CBI in the seamless investigation of the cases of corruption against the central government employees in their states. Central government employees. Okay, always remember. This is essentially consent by default, which means CBI may begin investigation taking consent as having been already given. Having been already given. The CBI would still have the power to investigate old cases registered when general consent existed. Also, the cases registered anywhere else in country but involving the people stationed in states which have withdrawn consent would allows CBI jurisdiction to extend to these states. Maharashtra government has restored general consent of CBI. Let's see next question with respect to LVM3 या M2 या फिर वन वेव इंडिया वन मिशन वन वेव इंडिया वन मिशन वन वेव इंडिया वन मिशन is to dedicated commercial space mission of Indian National Space Program and Authorization Center in space. The mission is placed the satellite in the low Earth orbit, 600 km above the Earth. The launch vehicle LVM3M2 consists three stages consisting two solid propellant steps. Once choose the correct answer using the code. I think you know about that. Both the statements only and only three is the right answer. Why so? Let's see. LVM3 yeah M2 LVM3 M2 is a dedicated commercial satellite mission of New Space India Limited NSIL, a central public sector enterprise under the Department of Space, Government of India. NSCL is a central public sector enterprise under the Department of Space. The launch is also first for LVM3 to M2 LVM3 M2 to place the satellite into the lower Earth orbit up to 1200 kilometers above the Earth, unlike the geosynchronous transfer orbit. LVM3 M2 is a three-stage launch vehicle consisting of two solid propellant S200. This is a three-stage launch vehicle consisting two solid propellant on its one sides and core comprising liquid 110 liquid stage and C25 cryogenic stage. So this is a three-stage launch vehicle consisting two solid propellant. ISRO dedicated the commercial satellite mission LVM3M2 or One Wave India One lifts off. Jim Corbett National Park is located in along with which rivers? It's the Ram Ganga. Jim Corbett National Park is national park in India located in Nainital district, Uttarakhand. The park has sub-Himalayan belt geographical and ecological characteristics. Most moist deciduous forest mainly consists sal, peepal, rohini, mango. The park encompasses Patli Doon Valley formed by the Ramganga River. Patli Doon Valley formed by the Ramganga River. NGT stopped Corbett Tiger Safari work. Consider the following statement regarding Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. States and union territories have a discretion to decide cut-off date on which the beneficiary needed to be resident of an urban area for being eligible under this scheme. The mission will be implemented as a central sector scheme with the central assistance routed up to the urban local bodies directly. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban is a central sector scheme. I think you know about that, which is the correct answer. Only and only A is the right answer. States at their discretion, at their discretion, may decide the cut-off date on which the beneficiary needed to be resident of that urban area for being eligible take this benefit under this scheme, but this is central assistance will be provided to the urban local bodies and other implementing agency through the state or UT in the in situ rehabilitation of the existing slum dwellers using land resources through the private participation, credit linked subsidy. Affordable housing is partnership subsidy for beneficiary led individuals house construction or enhancement. Credit linked subsidy component will be implemented as a central sector scheme. Credit linked subsidy will be implemented as a central sector scheme while three component other component will be implemented as a centrally sponsored scheme. Only and only credit linked subsidy that will be implemented as a central sector. But the other three components are that it will be implemented as a centrally sponsored scheme. So not the completely Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban is totally is not a central sector scheme, but part of this is a central sector scheme. UP, MP, Tamil Nadu bag top three position in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban. Consider the following statements regarding with respect to infrastructure investment fund in which contains investment in the real infrastructure asset like road, power plant, pipeline. They are regulated under the Security and Exchange Board of India. SEBI has allowed the foreign direct investment in INVIT but has barred foreign portfolio investment. Which are the correct about INVIT? INVIT that means infrastructure investment trust. I think only and only A is the right answer. An infrastructure investment trust INVITs is like a mutual fund which enable direct investment of a small amount of money from possible individual, institutional investors in infrastructure to earn a small proportion of the income as a return. While mutual funds invest the sum received in financial securities, and InvIT invests the same in real infrastructure asset. InvIT invests the same but in real infrastructure asset like road, power plants, transmission line, pipelines. SEBI notified Infrastructure Investment Trust Regulation 2014, providing for registration and regulation of InvITs in India. The objective of the InvIT is to facilitate investment in the infrastructure sector. An announcement was made in Budget 2021-2022 that debt financing of infrastructure investment InvIT and real estate investment trust REITs by FII will be enabled by making suitable amendments in the relevant legislation. FPI can acquire debt security issued by InvITs and REITs under the medium term framework or voluntary retention route VRR. Such investments shall be reckoned within the limits and shall be subject to the terms and conditions for the investment by FPIs in debt securities under the respective regulation of MTF and VRR. Lions Den is a militant group recently. Where it is news? Lions Den. It is in Palestine. Lions Den is an armed Palestine terrorist group operating in Israeli-occupied West Bank. It was formed in 2022. Former member of other Palestinian militant organization and reported best is in the old city Nablus. Consider the following statement with respect to Foreign Contribution Regulation Act (FCRA). The Act requires every person or NGO wishing to receive foreign donation to be registered. The Act prohibits receipt of foreign funds by candidates for election, judges, government servants. FCRA registration is valid for a period of 3 years and it is expected to be renewed 6 months every before expiry. Is it 3 years? Ministry of Home Affairs is the nodal ministry for holding FCRA registration, and all its order can be challenged in High Court or Supreme Court, or any court. Which are the correct about FCRA? So second statement is wrong. So you can easily eliminate it and got your answer only and only 1 and 3. 1, 2, 4 is the right answer. FCRA requires every person or NGO wishing to receive foreign donation to be registered. Register होना होगा under the act to open a bank account for a receipt for the receipt of the foreign donation or foreign funds in a State Bank of India or State Bank of India Delhi, and utilize those funds only and only for the purpose which they have been received and as stipulated in this act. The act prohibits the receipt of foreign funds by the candidate of election, journalists, newspaper, media, broadcast companies, judges, government servants, member of legislature, political parties, their office bearer, organization of the political nature. Once granted FCRA, registration is valid for 5 years. Yeah, of course. Registration is valid for 5 years. NGO are expected to apply renewal within the 6 months of the date of the expiry of registration. In the case of the failure of the apply for renewal, the registration is deemed to have expired. Ministry of Home Affairs is required. MHA is required to approve or reject the application within 19 days. Within 90 days. Following with the expected to inform the NGO of the reason for the same. Once the registration of the NGO is cancelled, it is not eligible for re-registration. It's not re-registration for 3 years. All the orders of the government can be challenged in the High Court. Challenge in the High Court. Ministry of Home Affairs cancelled Foreign Contribution Regulation Act license of Rajiv Gandhi Foundation Fund and Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust. Consider the following statement with respect to basmati rice in India. It is prominently grown in the Himalayan foothills of the Indian subcontinent. Himalayan foothills of the Indian subcontinent. Most of the export of Indian basmati is to West Asian countries. Which are the correct? I think only and only C is the right answer. Both the statement is correct because you know about that. Basmati is a long grain aromatic rice grown for many centuries in a specific geographical area in the Himalayan foothills of Indian subcontinent. India is known for its basmati rice. 7 states: Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, UP, and Uttarakhand marked up for a geographical indication. 75% of export to the country. West Asian country, 75% of export. European Union countries also import Indian basmati. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, UAE, USA, Yemen, Republic are the major destination of export. 5 varieties of seeds of basmati rice were developed recently. World Anti-Doping Code. Consider the following statement with respect to World Anti-Doping Code. The provisions of the World Anti-Doping Code are enforced by UNGA, International Convention Against in Sport. Code harmonize anti-doping policy, rules, regulation within the sport organization and among the public authorities. Which are the correct about World Anti-Doping Code? I think only B is the correct answer. Because you know that World Anti-Doping Agency is the foundation initiated by the International Olympic Committee. It's a foundation of International Olympic Committee based in Canada to promote, coordinate and monitor the fight against the drugs in sport. The agency's key activities include scientific research, education, development of anti-doping capacity, and monitoring the World Anti-Doping Code, whose provisions are enforced by UNESCO. Whose provisions are enforced. Always remember, World Anti-Doping Code, whose provisions are enforced by UNESCO, International Convention Against the Doping Sport. The code harmonizes anti-doping policy, rules, and regulation within the sport organization and among the public authorities for the purpose of the protecting the athletes' fundamental rights to participate in doping-free sport. An Indian discus thrower was banned for 3 years for testing positive for banned substance. Consider the following statement with respect to sandalwood spike disease. Sandalwood spike disease. The disease is caused by fungus, which are transmitted by insect vector. There are no cure for this currently. Sandalwood spike disease. Which are the correct about sandalwood spike disease? I think B is the right answer. Because you know that it is an infectious disease which caused by the bacterial parasite of plant tissue. It's a bacterial parasite of plant tissues which are transmitted by insect vectors and involved in the plant to plant transmission. Present there is no option but to cut down and remove the infected trees, prevent the spread of the disease. India's sandalwood trees, particularly of Karnataka, are facing a serious threat with the return of destructive sandalwood spike disease (SSD). Next question about Agni Prime missile. Consider the following. Agni Prime missile. It is a two-stage ballistic missile which can be launched from land, air, and sea. It is a nuclear capable missile. It is nuclear capable. Has been designed and manufactured by DRDO. It is guided by a ring laser gyro inertial navigation system, optionally augmented by GPS. or Navig satellite guidelines, which are the correct about Agni Prime missile. Is it two-stage ballistic missile? Let's see. Only and only three is the right answer. You know about that Agni Prime is a two-stage road mobile and solid fueled MRBM, which is transported by a truck and launched by a canister. In addition, since it is canisterized, it can be launched from road, rail, be stored for longer period, and can be transported as per the operational requirement. It cannot be launched from air. Cannot launched. Okay, from air. The nuclear capable missile has been designed by DRDO. It's designed by DRDO. It is manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited. But it is manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited. Designed by DRDO, but manufactured by DRDO नहीं बल्कि भारत डायनामिक्स लिमिटेड. It is guided by a ring laser gyro inertial navigation system with redundant micro inertial navigation and digital control system, optionally augmented by GPS. The Agni Prime new generation ballistic missile was successfully test fired off the coast of Odisha. Consider the following statement with respect to Bhuta Kola. Bhuta Kola. It is an anti-mystic ritual dance performed in the part of Karnataka and Kerala. Bhut Kola. Padanas are the epics which recount the origin of the deity involved in the art form. Which are the correct about Bhut Kola? I think only and only C. Both these statements is correct about Bhut Kola. Bhut Kola is any mystic ritual dance performed in Tulu Nadu, parts of Karnataka and Kasargod in Kerala. The ritual performance at the Bhut Kola or Deva Nema involves music, dance, recital, elaborate customs. Recitals in Old Tulu recount the origin of the deity, the story of the how it came to present location. These are the epics known as Padanna. Kannada movie Kantara opened up a controversy related to the origin of Bhut Kola. Kantara opened a controversy related to the origin of Bhut Kola. Sukha Paika, Sukpaika, Sukpaika River is where it is not. It is a distributory of say, Mahanadi, Sukapaika. Sukapaika is one of the several distributaries of the mighty Mahanadi rivers in Odisha. It branches away from Mahanadi in Cuttack district and flow about 40 km before rejoining the parent river Tharapura in same district. Odisha government has started working on Sukapaika river revival plan for following a recent direction from the National Green Tribunal. Consider the following statement with respect to Target Olympic Podium Scheme. Target Olympic Podium Scheme TOPS. The scheme is a flagship program of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. It is applicable to the all individual sporting discipline, but not a group sport like hockey. Certain sports have been categorized as a high priority under this scheme. टॉप्स के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है. I think only 1 and 3 is the right answer because the scheme is a flagship program of Ministry of Youth and Sport to attempt the provide assistance to India's top athletes. The program is aimed at providing required support to the athletes in their preparation and training so that they can win medal for the country at an international event with the main focus being on Olympics. The scheme currently supports 105 top core group athletes across 13 sporting disciplines that includes hockey, both men's and women teams, and 269 tops development group athletes and across the 12 disciplines. Under this scheme, certain sports have been categorized as a higher priority, which are archery, badminton, boxing, hockey, shooting, wrestling. They are in higher priority. Tops athletes to feature in Phase 2 of Khelo India National Ranking Women's Weightlifting Tournament. Consider the following about Blue Flag Certification. Blue Flag Certification is an eco-level accorded by the Foundation for Environmental Education (FEE). Beaches outside the mainland India were awarded this certification for the first time recently. Blue Flag Certification entitled the Beach Administration to grants from UNEP. Grants UNEP से मिलता है इसको. Which are the correct? Only and only one. Foundation for Environment Education in Denmark. Foundation for Environment Education (FEE) accorded the globally or recognized eco-level Blue Flag certification. In the order to qualify this prestigious award, a series of stringent environmental, educational, safety-related, and access-related criteria must be met and maintained. The mission of the Blue Flag is to promote sustainability in the tourism sector through the environmental education, environmental protection, and other sustainable development practices. India beaches in the blue list are Shivrajpur, Gujarat, Ghagola, Diu, Kasargod, and Puduir, Karnataka, Kakarpara, Rusikonda, Andhra Pradesh, Golden, Odisha, Radhanagar, Andhra, Andaman and Nicobar, Kovalam in Tamil Nadu, hidden in Puducherry beaches. Radhanagar beaches in Andaman was the first blue flag beach outside the mainland of India. Radhanagar beach, that is Andaman, the first blue flag beach in India, mainland outside mainland. The advantage of the blue flag certificate or program are many and varied, from the primary objective of the environmental protection and education for sustainable development to financial rewards such as accreditation of the bringing in the form of more visitors looking for the higher level of environmental responsibility. And the blue flag is a trusted symbol of the world. Blue flag has been accorded to the two new beaches, Minikoy Tundi Beach and Kadmat Beach, both in Lakshadweep. Minikoy Tundi and Kadmat Beach, both in Lakshadweep. This takes the number of beaches certified under the Blue Flag certification is to 12. So in India, there are 12 beaches got Blue Flag certificates. Consider the following statement with respect to like-minded developing countries. LMDC, like-minded developing countries. They are intergovernmental group consisting of developing countries that tend to share similar sustainable development challenges. India is the part of LMDC grouping along with China and Saudi Arabia. They were the first recognized as a distinct group of developing countries at the United Nations Conference on the Environmental Development. India is the part of LMDC grouping along with China, Saudi Arabia. How can you say like-minded developing countries? Only and only two is the right. You know about that like-minded group. Developing countries is a group of developing countries who organize themselves as a bloc negotiator in international organizations such as United Nations, the World Trade Organization. They represent more than 50% of the world's population. Like-minded countries, developing countries, like-minded developing countries whose who negotiate in the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change (CORA). The members of Algeria, Bangladesh, Convention on Climate Change (CORA). The members are Algeria, Bangladesh, Bolivia, China, Cuba, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Malaysia, Mali, Nicaragua, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Vietnam. Seeds and like-minded developing countries were seeds, not the LMDC, were the first recognized as a distinct group developing countries at the United Nations Conference on the Environmental. Seeds, not the LMDC. Seeds were the first recognized as a distinct group of developing countries at the United Nations Conference on the Environment and Development in June 1992. Union Ministry for Forest and Environment and Forest and Climate Change recently participated in ministerial meeting of like-minded developing countries. Tigray, Tigray, Tigray is a region which is the conflict region. Seen in news. Which is where is situated? It's Ethiopia. Tigray region is northmost regional state of Ethiopia. Ethiopia. Tigray war is ongoing civil war that began 2020 in Tigray region of Ethiopia. The war is primarily being fought by Ethiopian federal government and Eritrea one side, and Tigray People's Republic on the other side. The first formal African Union lead peace talks between Ethiopian government team and Tigray forces, with the reference to the roadmap of 2030. Consider the following statements. Roadmap 2030. It provides a framework for India to scale up renewable energy uses to meet climate goals. It is formulated by Niti Aayog in association with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Roadmap 2030. Which is the correct about Roadmap 2030? Roadmap 2030. Neither. It was launched by in 2021 during the India UK Virtual Summit. The roadmap heralds the commencement of enhanced traded partnership between India and UK, with the goal the doubling the value of India-UK trade by 2030 and expediting the first phase of renegotiation for the future free trade deal. It is not related to the environment. It was jointly formulated by the Indian and UK governments. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated British Prime Minister elect Rishi Sunak and said he looked forward to working closely together on the global issue and implementing the roadmap 2030 for the bilateral relations. Consider the following statement with respect to Chola bronze sculpture. Chol period bronze were created using lost wax technique. The bronze alloy were known as Panchamcholam, Panchcholam, Panchcholawam. Chola bronze have higher intricate ornamentation in comparison with the subsequent bronze in the Nayaka period, which are the correct about only and only one, of course. Chola period bronze were created using lost wax technique. It is an artistic term. Beeswax or Pulingam type camphor are mixed with a little oil and kneaded well. The figure is sculpted from this mixture, fashioning all the minute detail. This is the wax model original. The entire figure is then coated with clay made from termite hills until the mold is of necessary thickness. Then the whole thing is dried and fried in an oven with a cow dung cakes. The wax model melts and flows out, while some of its vaporizes. The alloy of bronze is melted and poured into the empty clay mold. This particular bronze alloy is known as Pancham Loham. Chola bronze have a little intricate ornamentation in the comparison with the subsequent bronzes of the Vijayanagar and Nayak period. There is a gentle grace as a restrained and quiet elegance, ethereal outwardly beauty, and above else, a life that throbs and pulsates and thereby enlivens the bronze sculpture. Two Chola period bronze idols stolen from Tamil Nadu traces to US. Consider the following statement with respect to Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee GEAC. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. It is a statutory committee functioning under the Ministry of Science and Technology. No objection certificate or certification from the state or UT government is required for confined field trials related to genetically modified crops by GEAC. GEAC chaired by an expert in the field of biotechnology nominated by the Union government. Which are the correct about GEAC? It is a statutory body. Okay. I think only and only two is the right answer. Yes, of course. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee GEAC is a statutory body committee constituted under the rules for the manufacture, use, export, import, storage of hazardous microorganism, genetically engineered organism or sales rules 1989. That is comes under the Environment Protection Act 1986. That frame under the Environment Protection Act 1986. Okay. For the conservation or for any application related to the confined field trials of genetically modified crops by GEAC, NOC from the state or the UT government is required. GEAC chaired by a special secretary, additional secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and co-chaired by a representative from the Department of Biotechnology. Presently, it has 24 members and meets every month to review the application in the area indicated above. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee (GEAC) recently approved commercial cultivation of genetically modified mustard variety Dhara mustard hybrid. Approved कर दिया गया है. Consider the following statement. Reserve Bank of India has the sole right to issue banknotes in India. Banknotes in India issue sole right. The final decision regarding any change of design of the currency note lies with the RBI. The role of the RBI in the case of coin is limited to the distribution, and minting of the coin is done by the central government. Which are the correct? Yeah, of course, only and only 1 and 3 is the right answer. Section 22 of RBI Act 1934 gives RBI the sole or right to issue the banknotes. Sole right to issue the banknotes. RBI Department, RBI's Department of Currency Management, Department of Currency Management has the responsibility of administrating the core function of currency management. If a design of currency note has to change, the department works on the design and submit it to RBI, which recommends to it the central government, which recommend it to the central government. The government gives the final approval. The government gives the final approval. The Coinage Act 2011 gives the central government power to design mint coins in various denominations. In the case of coins, the role of RBI is limited. Limited. In the case of coin, RBI role is limited to the distribution of the coins that are supplied to the central by the central government. Delhi Chief Minister recently appealed to Union government to print images of Goddess Lakshmi and Lord Ganesh on new currency notes. Why? Lord Ganesh and Lord Lakshmi is only the goddess of only and only. You know about that? It's against the secularism. Yasovati Vak Pushatta Dida. Dida war where? This is Yasovati Vak Vak Puspata Vak Puspata Pusapta Vak Pusapta or Dida where it's administrators. Ministry of Culture organized dance drama titled Stri Des. Stri Des, based on lives of 13 legendary women of Jammu and Kashmir. The event showcase of the history of Jammu and Kashmir as a land of great women and depicted the lives of Yasovati, Isan Devi, Vak Puspa, Sugandha, Rani, Rani Dida, Sri Lekha, Sheila, Suryamati, कालहानिका यशोवती ईशान देवी वाका पुष्पा सुगंधा रानी रानी जिदा श्रीलेखा शीला सूर्यामती कालहानिका among many others. Ministry of Culture organizes Stri Des, a dance drama production by the Dr. Sonal Mansingh on the forgotten legendary women of Jammu and Kashmir. Consider the following statement. Site directed nucleus SDN. Site directed nucleus nucleus and nucleus and nucleus Genome editing involves the use of different RNA cutting enzymes. All the site-directed nuclease SDN process don't involve the alien genetic material, and in the end result is this indistinguishable from the conventionally bred crop varieties. Which are the correct about both these statements? I think only and only D is the right answer because both are incorrect. Site-directed nucleus (SDN) genome editing involves the use of different DNA cutting enzymes. Different DNA enzymes that are directed to the cut the DNA at the predetermined location by a range of different DNA binding system. After a cut, this cut is made cells of one DNA repair mechanism recognize just the break and repair the damage using one of two pathways that are naturally present in cells. SDN and SDN1 and SDN2 process don't involve alien genetic materials. So don't involve alien genetic materials. And end result is indistinguishable from the conventionally bred crop varieties. SDN3 process involves the larger DNA elements or full-length genes of foreign origin, which makes it similar to genetically modified organism development. Notification of standard operating procedure for regulatory review of genome-edited plants under SDN and SDN2 categories 2022, with the reference to the NAVIC navigation with Indian constellation, consider the following statement. नाविक के बारे में बताना है. The satellites under this system are stationed in both geostationary and geosynchronous. Navik covers India and region extending 6,000 square kilometer around it. Only and only 1,500 square kilometer. Only and only A is the right answer. नाविक या फिर इंडियन रीजनल नेविगेशन सैटेलाइट सिस्टम IRNSS Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System uses 7 satellites to provide real-time positioning and timing service in India and the area extending up to 1500 kilometers 1500 kilometers from the country's border. Of the 7 satellites used by Navik at present, there are 3 are in geostationary orbit and 4 are in geosynchronous orbit. 3 are geostationary and 4 are in geosynchronous orbit. Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System IRNSS with an operational name Navik is an autonomous regional satellite navigation system that provides accurate real-time positioning and timing services. It covers India and a region extending up to 1,500 kilometers around it with the plans for further extension. Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO is working on a series of improvements to the Navik or India's equivalent, the Global Positioning System. Next question. Research Innovation Initiative Gathering. Research Innovation Initiative Gathering RIIG in news is associated with. It's only and only G20. Research Innovation Initiative Gathering is associated with G20. India highlighted that materials for the sustainable energy, scientific challenges, and opportunities to achieving a sustainable blue economy, biodiversity, economic would be the major theme and topic of the research innovation initiative gathering during the India's presidency starting from 1st December 2022. Major themes of research innovation initiative gathering during the India's presidency highlighted G20 research ministry meeting. वो मंजिलें भी सर झुका देगी जब जमदार होगी तेरी तैयारी मुट्ठी में होगा तेरा मुकद्दर जब किताबें संग तेरी यारी होगी. All the best.